Hello and welcome to the Monday Morning Reset. I'm so glad you're here with me today. And this is the third week in Advent. So as a church, we are focusing on joy and this idea of what joy really is during the Christmas season. I know for many of us, this can be a difficult time of year. Maybe it's the first year that you are experiencing the Christmas season without a loved one. And maybe things are just difficult right now because of everything going on with the pandemic. You're not able to see your friends and family or celebrate in the ways you normally would. There's a financial strain, or maybe you're just going through a harder time this year. And it's just difficult, right? To find happiness, to find that Christmas cheer. Or maybe you're on the opposite side of the spectrum. You are living your best life. You love Christmas movies, you're drinking your cocoa, and you're filled with Christmas spirit. And if so, I commend you. But I want to remind all of us that wherever you are during this Advent season, joy and happiness are not the same thing. And when I think of happiness, while it's well and good, it can be fleeting, right? Happiness is a momentary thing and it's a little more superficial. Whereas joy is this deep and complex, not just emotion, but state of being and really state of your spirit. I can find happiness in an ice cream cone or a cozy blanket or a scented candle, but joy is something that cannot be taken from me, no matter the circumstances. It's something that cannot be taken from me by a person or a thing. Joy, when it is rooted in Jesus, is lasting and deep and hopeful. So what does joy mean then at Christmas time? Well, for many of us, we think of songs like Joy to the World, right? Based on what the angels told the shepherds, that there was good news and there would be joy to all the people in the world. Or we think of a lyric or a Christmas card greeting, tidings of comfort and joy. Or maybe you think of stories like A Christmas Carol or How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I love How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and it starts with this creature who's so grumpy, right? And it says his heart is 2 sizes too small, and he just wants to ruin Christmas for everyone because he hates everyone and he hates Christmas specifically. But by the end of it, he realizes that it's not about things, but it's about people and relationships, and it's so much deeper than what he thought. And by the end of it, his heart grows 3 times. And similarly, in A Christmas Carol, right, we have Ebenezer Scrooge, who hates Christmas because of these things that have happened in his past, and he's unkind to everyone. But by the end of the story, we see a total shift in perspective, and he's giving away his money to charities and throwing parties for people and being a kind and compassionate human being. And I think what both those characters have found a little piece of in their stories is joy. And they understand by then that it's something that can't be taken from them. But really, when I think about joy, I often think not about Christmas, not about stories like that, not even about angels singing about the birth of Jesus, but I think about the Psalms. And I've talked about this before, but I love the Psalms because it's just this book of rich and complex writing. These authors are willing to be vulnerable and honest about what is going on in their lives and how they are responding to God. And yes, we see the chapters in Psalms that are songs of praise and worship, declaring what God has done for people and usually the nation of Israel. But we also see these Psalms of lament, where the author isn't afraid to say they are angry at God. The author isn't afraid to be sad or even to be honest and tell God that they blame him for what is going on in their lives. But so often in these Psalms of lament, by the end of it, we see a reminder. The author reminds perhaps themselves or reminds us that they believe that God will still be faithful, God will still be good. And Psalm 30 perfectly captures this. There's a verse that I think you're going to be really familiar with, but part of Psalm 30 says, "Sing to the Lord, all you godly ones. Praise his holy name. For his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may last through the night, but joy comes with the morning. I love that. And I just want to read that again. Weeping may last through the night, but joy comes with the morning. The author understands that when your hope is placed in God, no matter what is going on, no matter the circumstances, your joy cannot be taken from you. And no, in your relationship with God, you will not be happy every moment of every day. That is not what the Christian life is about. But when we place our faith in Jesus and when our joy is rooted in Him, it cannot be taken from us. And in the darkest of nights, we can have hope for what is around the corner. And we know that there will be joy in the morning. And so this week, I just want to encourage you, wherever you find yourself this season, if you are singing Christmas carols and full of Christmas cheer, or if you find yourself in a space where you are weeping through the night, I just want to encourage you with this reminder that joy will come in the morning. And that joy, the source of that joy, is Jesus and Jesus alone. May the Lord bless you and keep you this week.